All right. Well, spring is upon us. Beautiful day out here. It must be 75 degrees. I mean, it's just perfect. I came out here and I rode my bike for a little while, and I came through and I was like, well, the grass is starting to turn green. It doesn't really need to be mowed yet, but I was like, man, now would be a perfect time. I guess it should be a good time to prep everything, right, and get ready for the season. And it was interesting that last year I went probably 95% all electric, right? I wanted to see how it did. I had a couple of electric push mowers and a robot mower. And I used my gas mower once, maybe twice. And I did that because it mulches much better. It's a Honda mower, and I go through and it mulches everything. The push electric mower's okay, you know, with mulching, not spectacular, and the robot mower, no mulching whatsoever. I mean, and there's some spots where the Bahia grass, you know, and sometimes they'll have the long, real thin, you know, blades that'll pop up, and well, the robot mower, it'll go through and cut it, but there's no mulching, so I'm left with, you know, little long strands of grass sometimes. And but I'll talk about that in a second. I just figured now would be the time to prep everything, you know. Well, let's take a look at this robot mower. Well, here it is. And with the robot mower, you're supposed to it should be really easy, right? You're supposed to just clean it off, clean off all the cameras here. And this one has on the front and one on each side, left and right. Then when you take a look at it, you can see here's the disc with the blades on it. And you can hose all this down. You're supposed to leave it upright like this and hose it down and let it dry off. And then you just unscrew the blades. And with this one, so I can feel on this side where it's dull, this side's still sharp. So you can actually just unscrew this, flip it, and use the other side, right? And you can see how simple this is. It rotates clockwise when you're looking from the bottom. And you can see it's just, there's no, I mean, it's just real simple, right? Now, it came with 2 extra discs and extra blades and all that good stuff. And I'll show you that in a second. But you can see where it just cuts and everything just falls, you know, just falls down. So I started thinking, well, I was going to change the blades. I was like, well, I want to do more than that. I want to see if I can get either more blades or get some kind of mulching action going on. So let me show you what I did. There he goes. It's charging. All right. Well, okay. I have a bunch of projects going on here, but let me see if I can show you what I got here. So these are the 2 extra discs, and then here's your little pack of extra blades and screws, the nuts and everything. I believe it came with 12 extra blades, so that's enough for 4 different chains out. But as I showed you with the other one, once one side gets dull, you can just take it, flip it over, and put it back on and use the other side. But you can see this one, I've already modified it a little bit. This was a quick and easy change. You know, I was just thinking, well, with a mulching blade, you have an offset portion of the blade, and with two different, you know, cutting surfaces, right? And I was thinking, well, that'd be kind of cool if I could do that, and I'd have a blade up here and a blade at the top, so that when grass starts to fall back down, before it hits the ground, it's going to hit this blade again, right? So there's just multiple cuttings, so that instead of just one long blade of grass that just falls, you know, hopefully it'll cut it up a little bit more. But then again, most mulching blades also has a curved part of it, right? So that it's circulating air and getting the grass to recirculate up in the mowing deck before it actually drops down. With this, it can still just drop straight down, right, without circulating back up. So let me show you what I did. Yeah, so here you can see I modeled the disc. And added a little to it. So if you look at it real quick, you can see where I added 3 more holes along with the factory holes. And what that is for is mounting, say it sits this way. This is facing the grass, right? And this is the upper within the mowing deck. So with these added holes, I can put this piece which holds the blades just like that. But this top portion, you know, screw it down, and here this will create the updraft, so that the grass will circulate before it just totally drops down, right? So maybe it'll circulate a little bit and get hit by these other blades. Well, when I'm doing that, that'll be on the top, right? So I'm going to drill a hole right here, but I'm going to have more blades mounted on the bottom. So I'm going to have a total of 6 blades on the bottom, 3 up on the top, along with that angled air deflector on it. So, yeah, hopefully it's not going to be overkill, but that's the plan. And right now, all I got to do is just drill the holes, and you can see I've already kind of marked them there. I just need to drill the holes and assemble everything. Here is, let's see, yeah. You can see how that goes on. Of course, I'm going to be drilling the holes right on these marks, so it should drop right down. But you can see how it fits in wherever I put it. And here is that is the insert. Oops. We'll insert that in, and then the blade will fit on that piece. You can see the similarities there. Now, when I did this, when I added the blade on the top, all I did was change the hardware. So instead of using this hardware, I switched over and needed some longer screws. So these are M4 by 20. They're M4s, and you can see the size of the head is much smaller than what comes with that. So I had to use washers on there to keep the blades from just dropping right through. So I just added that. The only thing, yeah, there's another washer and the nut, and everything's on. The only thing I had to do I just had to print off these little spacers here so that when I have the spacer in here and then the washer on top of it, it leaves the blade to circulate like it should. And that was an easy part. It was just this one right here. Easy peasy. There's the insert. There's my my air deflector, and you can see how it fits on. So this spot, and this spot, those are the factory pressed in fasteners there that holds the blades. And then I drilled this one, and this one, and adding my stuff to it. Well, that is about it. So all I got to do now is just drill my holes on this piece, assemble everything. I'll put it on the mower, and hopefully the grass will start growing, and we'll put it to work and see if it makes a difference. I hope it's going to do some mulching, but we're about to find out. Well, it's finished. See, there's the 6 blades on the bottom. They'll sit like that. And now we have 3 blades on the top, along with the air deflectors. So we'll see. I hope it, I'm sure it's going to cut better, no doubt. I just want to see if it helps any mulching effect. All right, well, I'll tune back in once it is cut a good portion of the yard. Then we can inspect the clippings and see how it's cutting. Well, it looks like it's cutting pretty nicely. It's so hard to tell. Well, you can see the striped marks, and it's very hard to tell on this very first cut because the grass, you can see, is so uneven, and spots of growth and brown or whatever. So it's kind of hard to see how level. But I'd have to say it's doing pretty well. And let's see if you can see that. Remaining 50 minutes. It's a total of about 3 hours to do the yard, all back around the other side of the house, all of this, and around the side. And the reason why it takes so long, there's my fire pit, but the reason why it takes so long is because it has to stop and go around stuff, just like it's doing at the fence. You can see how that just really slows it down. Now on the front yards, out in the front, there's 2 sections that are much larger than this, and it takes a lot less time because there's far fewer obstacles that it has to wind around. And if I'm not mistaken, here we go. Yeah, you can see over here where these big blocks of the yard, and it does it really fast because it doesn't have to stop and turn, and it's just on the boundaries, but it doesn't have to stop and turn around all these obstacles that you program in. It goes around the trees, it goes around my fire pit, all my other equipment around the side, stuff like that. So, well, off this first cut, I think it's cutting much better. And even the sound of it. See, look, it's cutting it with a lot less noise. But we'll see as the season goes on. The next time I cut, we'll see if it mulches any better. It's so hard to tell right now. But I'm pretty pleased with the upgrade so far, and I can keep experimenting. If it doesn't seem like it's mulching that well, because it's not a whole lot of power like on a gas mower, right? Where it's really cutting it and ramming it down into the grass, into the ground. But I'm glad I added those other blades. I think it's going to help a lot. So I have to say I really like the robot mower. I haven't tried a whole lot of them yet. I do plan on it, and I'm hoping either I'll get one myself or somebody will send one over to me to test. And because it really comes in handy, you know. Right now though the weather's great. But if it comes through and it hits 100 degree, plus 100 degree weather, I can let that go and mow, and I can sit inside. and sometimes while it does the back here, I'll go out and do the front myself. But overall, I really like it. It's electric. It's automatic. It's really cool. But well, I guess that's my experiment, my test for the day, and I'll keep monitoring it over this season. So I guess that's it for this video. So once again, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch my next video.